Hello and welcome back to our FM23 Chelsea save, now no longer on the beta as the full game is out. So I look forward to seeing our title challenge being totally destroyed today, because yes, last time we did actually do really well and we find ourselves well in contention at the top of the table, albeit with about 5 other sides. So it's not going to be easy, but hopefully we don't horrendously implode, please. Now we did end off last time with Raheem Sterling and Nikola Milinkovic each picking up pretty substantial injuries, and I have also sold Daniele Rugani to Shakhtar Donetsk, so we probably need another centre back, with Ethan Ampadu being our only backup now. We only have one slot available for squad registration though, and winger is also an issue. We do have Armando Broja and Mount and Havertz can play there as well, and I also promote Leo Castledine from the under-21s as well, so we should be okay there. Bottom of the league, Sheffield United are first up. We did of course lose to them in the FA Cup last season, but not this time. We should have had about 7 goals, but we have to settle for a 2-1 win, with Ziyech and Lukaku continuing their fine seasons, as evidenced by Inter trying to sign Ziyech shortly after. If we should have had 7 goals against Sheffield United, we literally do get 7 against Brentford a few days later. A promising start to the second half of the season. Can we keep it going away at Wolves? Of course not. Seriously, just look at those stats. Any other week we'd have won 3-1. Mendy has a shocker, momentum derailed. We need a quick return to form in the FA Cup third round, and considering we have Brentford again, I'm optimistic. And rightly so, as we put another 4 past them this time to make it through to round 4, albeit with Kai Havertz picking up a pointless red card. But then we have to play Newcastle again. With 4 points behind them, we simply have to beat them here if we want to keep our title challenge alive. Now we are at an immediate disadvantage, as I realised too late that I forgot to put Ruben Neves back into the team after a suspension. Newcastle have the best of the early play, and Mendy makes a decent save from Callum Wilson. We look okay though, and a long ball from Kante sets Lukaku away to give us the lead. We can't keep control however, and in the second half Newcastle counter, and this time Wilson does score, and then Mendy embarrasses himself as Joe Linton gives Newcastle the lead. Fantastic. We push for an equaliser, and later on we get a corner, but Torres can only hit the post, and that was that. We lose to them for the 3rd time in a row, and so they go 7 points clear of us. Anyone mind if we just end this now? Ugh. All we can do is keep going and hope they slip up and we don't slip up anymore. A 6-0 win over Burnley is just what the doctor ordered. I start Callum Hudson-Odoi over Pulisic and he gets a hat-trick, so it's safe to say the American will be getting reacquainted with the bench. And Newcastle drop points straight away as well, so a great day. We then see off Nottingham Forest with ease, another brace for Lukaku, before dispatching Sheffield United comfortably too. We cut the gap to Newcastle down to just 2 points, although they have a game in hand. But still, it's a much more healthy end to the month. Oh, and we don't sign anyone. I consider a bunch of people for a range of positions, but in the end, we'll stick with what we've got. Ampadu's done okay when he's played, and more money for the summer, which I won't even be playing. Romelu Lukaku scored 9 goals in January, but that's still only enough for second in Player of the Month because Haaland got 10, and he's up next again. We've had City's number recently with 2 wins in a row against them. We can't afford any slip-ups here either, especially as Newcastle won their game in hand. And, well, we don't win, but it's such a great draw I don't even mind. We come from behind twice to secure the point. Here are the first 2 goals. This for City is just, I have no idea what planet Fofana is on here. And then our equaliser, which is just absolute filth. One of the best goals I've ever scored on the game. Ridiculous to the sublime there. We need wins though, and we get one against Leicester. A totally dominant first half gets the job done. Hudson-Odoi's impact cannot be overstated. That's 5 assists already since he's come into the side, and he comes off the bench to rescue us against Reading in the FA Cup. We then have Spurs, and it's just the most routine 2-0 win of the save. We certainly have their number. It means we're 4 points clear in second, but still 4 points off Newcastle, who still have a game in hand. They're showing no signs of slowing down. But the league isn't the only aim. We face Atletico Madrid in the first leg of our Champions League knockout round tie. As long as we can keep it tight, then we should be okay. And, well, it's one of those days where everything goes our way. Chilwell's cross from the byline is fired in by Lukaku to give us a lead. We then somehow survive the latest instalment of Fofana's book of defensive calamities, and then Mount sets up Lukaku to grab his second. To say we ride our luck at times would be an understatement, but it's on our side, and in the second half a snapshot from Ziyech makes it 3-0. And then late on Pulisic sends Havertz through to send in a fourth off the post. A total rout, and the home leg is still to come. We follow this up with a crushing victory over West Ham. Lukaku now up to 31 goals for the season, despite spending the first half of it on the bench. Insane. And even more insane, Newcastle go and lose to Wolves. They still have that game in hand, but we're now only a point behind. We end the month with the replay against Reading, and the rotated side are absolutely abysmal, particularly Livakovic, who will have to sub off at half time, and we get dumped out. I berate the players for this, and apparently this is too much for Pulisic and Gallagher. We just lost 4-2 to a championship side, lads. Seriously? At least it frees up the schedule a bit. And indeed gives us a 10-day break until we play Liverpool. They're well behind us in third. We simply have to beat them if our title chances are to have any hope. Hudson-Odoi has an injury that rules him out here, but this is timed perfectly for the long-awaited return of Raheem Sterling against his boyhood club. And while we have an initial bad moment as Neves is forced off injured, this soon appears to be the exception, not the rule, as a Mount free kick results in a goal line scramble, which eventually Fofana gets over the line. We get a corner and Torres does what he does best, and then at the start of the second half, some utterly exceptional work from Chilwell gives Lukaku a tap in for 3, and then Chilwell's at it again as he sets in Ziyech to send the Belgian home for 4. 4-0, Liverpool shell-shocked, a masterclass. We go top for the first time in a long time, albeit with 2 games in hand for Newcastle, and Neves' injury is thankfully not too bad. And then Newcastle lose again. Has Christmas come early? I figure even I can't throw away a 4-0 lead at home against Atletico, so I will rotate a little bit, and yeah, I think my optimism was justified. Just the 10-0 aggregate win. Everything's been going really well, so some bad news was inevitable, and it's that our youth intake is absolutely dreadful. I'm not really too bothered though. More of an issue is that Lewis Cook does his cruciate ligament and is out for the rest of the save. I promote Lewis Hall to the first team to fill the void. Newcastle win their game in hand, so with everything evened out, with 9 to go, we're 1 point behind them. We end them up with Southampton and we grab a narrow 1-0 win at St Mary's. Lukaku again, Sterling back with an assist. And then in the Champions League quarter-final draw, we get Benfica, which you have to say is good. Romelu Lukaku is playing in total disregard for real life expectations. He takes Player of the Month, we take Manager of the Month for March as well. But after collecting those plaudits, we have to play Manchester United. We have not beaten them on any of the 3 previous occasions. Now would be a good time to change that, although I'm not optimistic. And yeah, why break the habit of a lifetime? Both teams have 3 good chances. Unfortunately, they scored 2 of theirs and we only scored 1. Newcastle obviously win, so it's back to 4 points behind. We've just lost far too many big games this season, but all we can do is keep on going still. The first leg versus Benfica is next, and I don't even know what this was. Clearly my consideration of them as the weakest possible team we could have had was taken to heart by this computer simulation, as after a cagey opening, they have their only attack with Ricardo Sotil waltzing in to give them the lead. We then proceed to have what would probably fill 10 minutes worth of highlights, whereby all of our forwards can't hit a barn door. We lose 1-0 at home. Ugh. But on the plus side, West Ham thump Newcastle. We bounce back with a much needed win over Everton, Lukaku bagging a hat-trick against his old club, which leads us nicely into the second leg against Benfica. We obviously need a win. Benfica are clearly no pushovers though, as they score early on, only for it to very narrowly be ruled offside. It really feels like one of those nights again when Lukaku sees this early chance saved in an end-to-end encounter. We certainly ride our luck. Eventually though, Neves clips a perfect ball over the top for Lukaku to dispatch with ease. Tie leveled. We keep pressing in the second half but without reward, but in injury time we have one last chance with the fresh legs of Gallagher crossing to Ziyech to smash home what is surely a winner, and Alpha sake. Literally from the restart, Benfica stride forwards and score, and the defence and Mendy just do their best impression of the Spider-Man pointing meme. I saved most of the subs for extra time though, and it pays off as a tiring Benfica give away a free kick, which Mitchell sends forwards for Pulisic to slot home a winner. No comeback this time, we make it through 3-2 overall, and we get Liverpool in the semi-finals. Palace are next and we race into a 2-0 lead before deciding to just bin that off in the second half. Were both their goals down to individual errors from us? Come on, you know the answer to that already. 3 points behind with 7 games to go. Our title ambitions are slowly heading off a cliff. We get a straightforward win against Wolves a few days later though, but Newcastle beat Spurs as well, so no difference at the top. And then the small matter of the Champions League semi-final. The first leg is at Anfield. It's tense. Mendy makes a strong save to deny Thiago early on before Lukaku spurns a glorious chance. Then Kante of all people is robbed and Darwin Nunez smashes Liverpool in front. Nothing else much happens until Frank Kessie gets a straight red card for elbowing Hudson-Odoi, and it ends a perfectly respectable 1-0 with the home leg still to come. He may have missed a chance there, but Lukaku collects another Player of the Month. We get some more good news as Newcastle can only draw with Everton. Our title challenge lives on, but we still have to play Arsenal at the Emirates. And my god, this was nervy, but we grind out a 2-0 win. Mendy made a great save and Havertz came off the bench to secure it. And Newcastle, they bottle it at St Mary's, and we're now 1 point behind with a game in hand ourselves. It came with a price though, as we lose Sterling and Lukaku for some crucial games. We've already lost Gallagher as well. I'd like a double from this season, but I'd settle for winning just one thing. It's probably going to be neither though, isn't it? The second leg is next. Havertz and Hudson-Odoi come in to bolster our depleted attack. Torres heads this effort over, Mendy makes another solid save, then Neves gives away a penalty and Salah converts. Difficulty increased. In the second half we come out fighting and Torres pulls a goal back. We look lively, but Callum Hudson-Odoi can't convert this golden opportunity. Liverpool then get their own corner and Gomez restores their 2-goal advantage. We keep trying and Mount fires us to within 1 goal again, but time drains away, and with this last effort from him, our challenge is done. Liverpool win 3-2. Disappointing, but I can't begrudge it. They were better. We refocus on the league, 3 to go. Simply put now, if we win them all, we will win the title. And Havertz certainly steps up in Lukaku's absence. Not that that should be surprising. Another hat-trick for him. We have 2 really good strikers who now have over 50 goals between them this season. Very unlike real life. We go top with a 2-point lead and 2 games left. We get no favour from Arsenal in Newcastle's penultimate match, so we have to do it ourselves. Brighton are our last home game. We can't win the title here, but we need to win regardless. And we do, in absolute style. Havertz with 2 hat-tricks in a row to ensure he'll start on the final day. A total exhibition from us, but it's not over yet. We go top again with 87 points, 2 above Newcastle. Our goal difference is over 30 goals better than theirs, so whatever they do, we simply need to avoid defeat in the final match and we will win the title. The problem is they play a Brentford side who have absolutely nothing to play for, and we're away at a Watford side who could avoid relegation with a win. I've seen this one before. One can only hope Eddie Howe is going full Keegan at this point. I'm sure he'd love it if they could beat us to the title, but the feeling is mutual, Eddie. Lukaku is fit again, but Havertz has to start. In the pouring rain at Vicarage Road, the title will be decided. The whole team clearly want the job done early and easily. Ziyech snatches the ball off Pedro, feeds Havertz, who sweeps it in from 25 yards. 1-0. Watford offer absolutely nothing as they face a familiar championship return, and on the half-hour mark, Kante is fouled for a penalty and Mount calmly slots home for 2. We have one hand on the trophy, but Ziyech makes it totally sure with a classy finish befitting his glorious season, and then Havertz chips the keeper to add the cherry on top. 4-0 before half-time. Newcastle take the lead against Brentford in the second half, but that's irrelevant. We see out an extremely nerve-free win to take the Premier League crown. What a performance, what a season. It did not look likely at times, but we kept going and we take our deserved rewards. These final 3 games getting it done in style. What a way to end the beta save. We get 90 points and a goal difference of 83. You have to say the expensive signings really were worth it. A few bumps, but we made it through. It's been a while since I've had a season where every single player in the team of the year got over a 7. Lukaku's redemption tour keeps Havertz out of it, which is unlucky for him. Huge improvements from the defence, we survived Sterling's lengthy absence, and Ziyech is the ultimate star of the save, which I really wasn't expecting. Lukaku and Havertz take our Player of the Year awards between them, which is a nice result. 40 goals for the Belgian, and Ziyech with 22 assists. Lukaku is only 3rd for the actual Golden Boot though. Haaland scored over 40 goals in the league and City only came 4th. We take a deserved Manager of the Year and we so nearly sweep the Team of the Year, which is something I've never done. But anyway, we'll end it there. I think that's a decent way to end a 2-season save. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time for some international journeymen.